Are you your biggest supporter? This is a question I ask myself all the time because, I have friends that support me and my family supports me and my kid adores me and I love getting all the support. But the thing is, sometimes it deflects off me because if I don't believe it about myself, it's hard to let it in from other people. Now, when other people support me, it helps me feel it better about myself, which is nice. But that is kind of fluid and doesn't get deep into the layers, right? I call it the infinite onion. It's an infinite onion in here, right? Lots of layers. And I want to dig down into the deeper layers. And so I want to really be my biggest supporter. And this is hard because from childhood, we are wired that that's selfish, that that's wrong. Well, my kid not, and I hope your kid's not, but a lot of us were, right? And so to actually believe that we're worth it, to believe that that's okay for us to be our biggest supporter, that's deep, right? And so when I make a mistake, I come with love and empathy and kindness. And when I'm afraid of something, I empathize with the fear, but I try and build myself up. You can do it, Vivek. You're going to do it. You can do it. And on like that. I try and be my biggest supporter. And when I'm not, I forgive myself and I just keep marching on, right? And so because even that's trying to be my biggest supporter. So practice a little bit more every day. Can you support yourself a little bit more every day? And it has a real impact. And one of the beautiful things about it is the more that we build that foundation of being our supporter, it builds this foundation of strength that not only we rest on, but our kid then can rest on it too. This is an amazing thing. And then they take it and they get their own, and it helps them build their own foundation. It's kind of like, because they can rest on it. Like I had very little to rest on. I will say my mom had, through fighting tooth and nail, made a lot of different parenting decisions. And a lot of people pressured her to do things that she didn't do, to judge things she didn't judge. And because of her, in a lot of ways because of her, I took what she did and I went to the extreme with it. But because of her, my eyes opened to how you can treat young people differently. So I do want to say that she was the original cycle breaker, and I often say this. And I took her work. I don't think she even, a lot of the time, knew what she was doing. I think a lot of the time she did. She was fighting back, against her own oppression and not wanting her kids to be saddled with the same thing. And, me too. I didn't want my kid to be saddled with what I ended up with. And so that's why the more I am that support for myself, the more my kid can rest on that. And it doesn't shake as much, right? So build it day after day. Build that for yourself, and you'll see what a difference it makes in your own life and in your kids' life, and it helps you with learning to guide them in a way that feels good to them. And I'd love you to check out my free course, Guiding. Speaking of guiding without controlling, is my free course, and it's at meaningfulideas.com. And I'd love you to check that out, and also follow me on all the spaces at Meaningful Ideas. And that's it. All right, peace out, everybody.